Hey everybody, welcome to SALT. We're here in Omaha, Nebraska, and a very hot and sweaty day, which I didn't think it'd be this hot and sweaty.
Yes, and now we're sitting out here hotting and sweating.
Yes. I really thought it'd be a breeze or in the shade, it'd be party. I thought, oh, it's gonna, but I think a little bit of breeze would be nice. Anyway, we've been on the road, and we've been to Branson, Missouri, and saw the Titanic Museum. Did some shooting there with the Australian TV show. And we also went to Indiana to see my mom, and here in Omaha, Aspen and I went to Hollywood Candy and a big bookstore and a couple stores. Anyway, for a quick look at what we've done, here's a short little video. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. That was our quick little jaunt around where we've been a little bit. And today we're talking about something that I wish we could do right now, which is go swimming.
Swimming, in a way. Yes.
In a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so the topic today is Naaman, and the story is found in 2 Kings chapter 5. And of course, Naaman has leprosy, and but you know what? In his country, he's a pretty big deal. He's
Captain of the guard, wasn't he, or something?
Yeah, of the military.
Military, yeah, he's up there.
And he was very successful. And so, of course, it sounded like him and the king were pretty tight, because they had a little servant girl that they had been taken captive from Israel by their army, And so she told his wife that in Israel there was a prophet that could heal Naaman of his leprosy.
Yeah.
And so, of course, he went to the king and he told him, and the king's like, yeah, he even wrote, and the letter said, where is it? Okay, with this letter I am sending my servant Naaman to you so that you may cure him of his leprosy. So he cared enough even to do that. And of course, when he got there, the king
of Israel.
the king of Israel read the letter, and he ripped his clothing because he's like, oh my goodness, what on earth are they trying to do? They're trying to start a quarrel so we have another war, basically. And
yeah, because Israel would have been completely wiped out by a war, and so he knew he had no chance to, avoid the story. He's like, well, I can't heal in leprosy, and now we're going to have a war, and they're going to take over and destroy Israel. Oh, he's left in a corner.
Yeah, and so Elisha hears this, and he says, hey, you know what? Just send him on over to my place, and he will know that there is a prophet in Israel. And so Naaman goes on over there with all his entourage, and he stops in front of the door of Elisha's house. And so Elisha sent out a messenger.
Yeah, so Elisha didn't even go out to see him. He sent his servant.
Yes, who told him, go wash yourself 7 times in the Jordan, and your flesh will be restored, and you will be cleansed.
I'm going to go wash myself 7 times in the creek right over there.
Yeah, yeah. There's a nice walking trail here as well, right next to the creek. So Naaman, you would think he'd go, oh, wow, that's so easy. I'll just go ahead and do that. That's great.
But no, he was a very proudful man.
Yes, he was furious, utterly furious.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what? I thought the prophet was going to come out and stand in front of me and call on his God and wave his arms, and then I would be healed. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, it would be the way you would imagine it. And turns out that, as a side note, it was actually about 140 miles from his country to Samaria where Elisha was.
Yeah.
And so since 20 miles was considered a day's journey, the
River Jordan would have been 20 miles away from where they were.
Yeah, not only that, the River Jordan was an extra 20 miles out of the way. So he had to go 20 miles over there, and then as long as he was healed, he'd have gone 20 miles back to Samaria to give the Elisha gifts and stuff, money and stuff like that.
So yeah, it's one of those things where your frustration simmers and boils and builds up because first of all he's got leprosy, and then he's got to go to a foreign land, and then the king there can't do anything, and then he sends him to Elisha, and then Elisha doesn't even come out. He sends a servant out, and then he says to go all this direction in a different, to bathe in a dirty river, and something probably many of you guys anyway can relate to is when you're traveling, you don't want to stop for anything, especially if you got somewhere to be and somewhere to get. You just want to go, except when you leave the house and you get so far down the road and someone goes, oh no, I forgot my cell phone. We have to turn around and go back and get the cell phone and cover mileage you've already covered twice. As a matter of fact, it was me that forgot the cell phone. Usually it's me.
I was going to say the last time, I think we managed to pull out of the driveway.
Oh yeah, whenever she forgets her cell phone, we're by the mailbox. When I forget my cell phone, we're down by the highway and getting on the freeway somewhere. But yeah, that's so frustrating to me when I forget something. Or my car keys to the office. And that's just across the street. I got to go home again and get my keys because I forgot them. Well, imagine that times a lot more, and that's how Naaman felt.
Yeah, so... Ready? Can you imagine? And he went there to get healed, and now he's ready to throw all that away because really he's too prideful.
They're just too prideful.
And it's not how he imagined it would happen.
No.
But lucky for him, he had some servants who talked to him, and they gave him good advice.
Yeah.
And
they said, and he had asked you to go climb Mount or into the volcano, you would have done it. But it was the Lord of the Rings quote.
I figured it was something
Some
like that.
great thing, you would have done it. But he's asked you to do this simple thing. Why not just do it?
Right. And so Naaman took the good advice, and off he went, and he dipped into the river 7 times. And can you imagine they're like, 1, 2, and you're looking at your skin every single time. I wonder if he must have done it like as fast as he could have.
I would have. I'd have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
I've heard pastors go 1, nothing, 2, nothing, 3. Well, nothing's happening. But he's like, it was 7 times, so why would you even think to stop before 7? Just do it 7 times.
Yeah. So anyways, okay, so now he goes back to Elisha and to give him the gifts that he's brought with him. And he had 10 talents of silver and 6,000 shekels of gold and 10 sets of clothing. And so a talent weighed between 75 and 100 pounds, I think, depending on whether it was Roman or Greek or something like that.
It was heavy.
Yeah. And 3,000 shekels was 1 talent. So basically, he had about at least 750 pounds of silver and at least 150 pounds of gold. And so just the silver, I looked this up on the internet, okay, so just the silver, skilled worker, would have been worth about $3 million.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's a lot. And plus there's the gold, which is usually worth more than silver. So of course Elisha, he refused the gifts, even though Naaman urged him to take them. Mm-hmm. But a little while after Naaman left, Gehazi, which was Elisha's servant, on Naaman, this Aramean, what he brought. I will run.
These are the people that kind of, warred against Israel and overtook Israel and subjugated Israel. So there's probably a little bit of, they owe us anyway because they carried off our people and
made servants out of them.
Made servants out of them.
Yes.
Why not take our fair share back?
Yeah. So when he catches up to him, he says, "My master sent me to say, 2 young men from the company of the prophets have just come to me from the hill country of Ephraim. Please give them a talent of silver and 2 sets of clothing." And oh my goodness. Okay, first of all, you've got Gehazi who has lied to himself, thinking that this is okay. He knows it's not because Elisha already sent them away without accepting any of the gifts.
Yeah.
And so then he lies to Naaman. He asked for a talent of silver, but Naaman says, "Here, take 2, and I will send 2 servants to carry it for you." And before I realized how much a talent weighed, I thought, that seems a little overdone to send 2 servants ahead of him carrying 2 bags of silver and 2 things of clothing. But really, it's no doubt why he only asked for 1 talent of silver, because he knew as one person he wasn't going to be able to carry more than 75 pounds. Yeah. And but wow, now he's got the servants carrying it for him, and
probably thinking he's sitting pretty.
Yeah, for sure. Because let me see. Okay, that would be 2/10 of $3 million. Would have been $600,000, and I mean that's not bad. Just a little over $500,000. I think most people would be wondering what they would be doing with that. Yeah. And so, he didn't even have to carry it. So he puts it into the house when he gets back, and then Elisha calls him and asks him where he has been. And now he lies again.
And Elisha already knows, what's going on, because it's the same way as when God found Adam and Eve, and why are you hiding? What's going on? What's up, my homies? And they were like, So here's Elisha, so where you been? Yes,
and he says, your servant didn't go anywhere.
Which seems odd. Seems like that'd be easy to prove.
Yeah, it kind of would be, you would think. Yeah.
Well, I came looking for you, and you weren't there.
Yeah, so Elisha says, was not my spirit with you when the man got down from his chariot to meet you? Is this the time to take money or to accept clothes, or olive groves and vineyards, or flocks and herds, or male and female slaves? Naaman's leprosy will cling to you and to your descendants forever. Then Gehazi went from Elisha's presence, and his skin was leprous. It would become as white as snow. And I thought, sin is like that. We jump into the lie, and it makes us all happy. Whatever the lie is that we choose to believe at that moment, okay? It makes us all happy, and is not a burden at all. Like Gehazi, he didn't even have to carry the 2 talents. But then he has leprosy because he has clearly gone against the will of God. Carried because of that. Suddenly, I'm sure he would have gladly given the 2 talents of silver and the 2 changes of clothes to anyone who could have healed him from leprosy. Yeah. All of a sudden, that 2 talents of silver became a real burden. And in modern day context, this reminds me of the news recently, right? So I'm sure many of you have heard about that kiss cam where the 2 executives basically of this one company, they're married, but not to each other.
Oh.
And so, and picks them because they look like they would like to kiss in front of a large audience.
That was unfortunate timing.
It was unfortunate timing, sadly. And you could, instantaneously, the woman turned around and the man just kind of dipped down,
Oh my.
And so,
wow. So did they see their faces?
Yes, you could definitely see their faces. Yeah,
they're toast.
Yeah.
What are the you go to you think you're getting away, and I think I read this one. It was at a and then the DJ, whoever was doing the kiss cam, said, well, they're either really shy or having an affair, and sure enough.
Yeah. Anyways, they were enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
And until
they got
caught, and then their stolen joy became a burden.
Yeah.
A real burden, because that's a long-term thing, their job thing, and family,
they probably
and
got
such
fired,
like
I
that.
would think,
The news said that he the next day he went ahead and resigned.
Yeah.
And so, okay, so back to Naaman. Sometimes the will of God is further than we want to go. For Gehazi, it was a simple choice. The will of God would have required him to stay home, but that was further than he wanted to go. Instead, he ran after Naaman to have what he wanted. Also, the symptoms of leprosy can be compared to sin. I'll just use, for example, that the feet can become numb and then they get sores on the bottom of them, and the person may not even be aware of it because they can't feel it. And so it's like sin. When our spiritual feet chase after the lies rather than the truth, we become numb to sin, and we don't even realize the damage and the pain it is causing us, because the lies we tell ourselves keep us numb and blind to the truth. So let's see, one more quick paragraph here to wrap it up. God's truth, though, is everywhere in this story. From the little girl who told Naaman's wife about the prophet in her country who could heal Naaman, and Elijah proved how great God is. And notice how God brought Naaman's heart to humility, and then he was able to live out God's words. When he was full of self, he was willing to actually continue living with leprosy, right?
Stupid things we do for pride.
Rather than go dip himself 7 times into what he considered a dirty river, right? But God's love was there, reaching out for a true heart relationship with him. And you know what? When he left Naaman, or left Elisha, he did say that he was going to serve only the one true God after that. So God's truth was there for Gehazi. He saw Elisha living out God's truth. He saw the power of God had healed Naaman. And so this story is full of God's love and his truth. And God just wants us to stay close to him. He does whatever he can for that. And so we need to stay close to him because he loves us, and that love is a protection for us.
Yeah, makes you think about all the stupid things we endure, pain or suffering, just for the sake of not swallowing our pride.
Yeah, it's not a good thing at all. So I've got one small paragraph. Did you read this one right
No,
here?
I did not.
Okay. Well, I think it goes with what we're talking about today. And so, of course, this is the usual where I write from the point of view as if God is speaking to us. So, my pasture may look small and confined when you stand outside of it, and you may wonder why you would give up your freedoms of the big, wide, wise world for such a small pasture. But when you enter into my care, you receive all that I have, and all is mine. I will spare nothing to see you revel in my riches of humility. Humility reeks of the wealth of my kingdom.
Good. All right, so that's it for this week. You'll notice this was not posted on Sabbath since we've been traveling the last 2 weeks. It's been hard to get stuff done because we've been all kinds of busy and everything.
Such,
so we'll try and get more, be better at getting it on Sabbath. But, if not, we'll get it up sometime. So hope you had a great week. Hope you did have a good Sabbath. Thanks for joining us, and we'll